Hello and welcome to ReRandom? What the fuck is ReRandom? It's a good thing I'm recording.
I was gonna say that's like when we have like rerun episodes apparently.
Rerand. That's a good idea. Well, before that, B, do you know what the drummer calls his twin daughters? And a one and a two. That was the wrong drop. That's the one we wanted. We'll be back right after this.
Man.
So the reason Ellie is here is because Ellie's pretty awesome, and why would we not want Ellie here? But Ellie is going through a very interesting time in her life, and it seemed like it'd be a kind of a cool opportunity since we had a couple empty podcasts. You know, last week we didn't have a podcast, and this week we didn't have one set up, and I thought I would offer Ellie to come on, and maybe this could be part of her journey. And I don't want to dig into any of that too awful much. I want to let Ellie kind of talk about some of that, but that's kind of the goal. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to kind of toss that to you. So can you give us a little bit of information about Ellie and why you're here?
Wow. Well, that's an interesting and wide open way to phase into this. So for me, this is my first Pride Month as a woman. Let's just roll into that. So I came out, now it's been about, in one way or another, it's been about almost, I'd say 8 months since I first willingly confessed who and what I am to another human being. And that is after being in the closet about being a transgender female for as long as I can remember. So this is my first Pride Month where I feel like this month is really speaking to me. I'm part of this community now, and it's a great month to just come out, answer some questions, get people comfortable. One of the things that I really want to do, and one of the reasons I'm passionate about, doing things like this, is that a lot of people are uncomfortable. They have questions. They don't know if they should ask them or not. This is your opportunity to ask them. If it goes over a boundary, I'm going to respectfully explain why that goes over a boundary, but I'm not going to judge anyone or bite anyone's head off for asking a question. And I'm hoping if everyone's honest and asking good questions, we should cross the boundary line at least a couple times. I'm a relatively open book, but even so, I will do my best to point out things you probably don't want to ask the average transgender female. At the same time, I'm going to throw up a flag here and just notice that, when it comes to being a woman, I'm less than a year old. I guess that makes me an adolescent in this accelerated universe, but I will not pretend to speak on behalf of even the whole trans community, and certainly not the whole LGBTQIA+ community. I'm still learning a lot, but I really appreciate anyone who asks questions and everyone who's here, because understanding each other is the first step to really diving in and getting comfortable. I was just going to touch on one more thing that kind of fits into, why it took so long to transition, is just because I kept thinking about everything that would be at risk, everything I'd have to give up. And only after I had come out to someone and had a few weeks to think about it, did I realize that everything I was clinging to, almost everything I was scared of, I didn't want to be bullied. I didn't want to get, ostracized. I didn't want to get treated as an outsider. I didn't want to have, problems with a career and things like that. And it occurred to me one day, it's like, I didn't want to give up white, cisgender male privilege. And I kind of fell on that because I'd always wondered when I had conversations with another coworker who's an African American, I always understood what white male privilege was all about and what I got in it. And I didn't know why some other people didn't know everything they got until I realized after transitioning, of course I knew. I was the most active player in maintaining white male privilege you could ever find. But I would say if you want to be an ally and kind of be a hero for transgender folks, anytime you're in a meeting, anytime you get to introduce yourself, throw the pronouns out. Make that part of your introduction. that matters to us. It makes it safe. And, part of the reason we create the label of cisgender, which is to say normal gender as the rest of the world would see it, is because we don't want to sit on a label alone. We're transgender. Shouldn't everyone else have to have a label too to go with it? But yeah, throwing out the pronouns helps a lot. Putting it in your signature and emails matters to us. And social media, anywhere you can put the gender and the pronouns you want, that helps us do the same thing without feeling like we have to do something that's different. Because obviously there's a damn good reason in some places for us to lay low and not get noticed. And one of the ways to help normalize our presence and get people to not think that they can treat us poorly is to go through the same things we do, explaining what our pronouns are and that sort of thing. So please do that. It matters to us quite a bit.
All right, so I need you guys to tell me, Mrs. Doubtfire or Leslie Nope, because they both mean nothing to me.
Oh, man. Okay, I'm going Leslie Nope here. So here's the thing about Leslie Nope. Leslie Nope is going to try very, very hard and is going to be very organized. And this is hard.
You
This
were
is
so
hard.
ready. You were so good. You're on it, and then you talked yourself out of it.
See, Leslie might be a little bit more clumsy than Mrs. Doubtfire. That's my only concern here. But the chat is behind Leslie Nope, so we're going to go with Leslie Nope.
Wiggum says she has a booby trap binder.
Yes, she probably does have a booby trap binder.
Okay, all right. Leslie Nope it is. And Leslie Nope will be facing off in the semifinals against Laura Croft or John Wick. Well, I don't think I have to verbalize who I'm voting for here, but we got Leslie Nope and Laura Croft.
I mean, I feel like we almost have to vote for Laura Croft to make the finals fair, but then that also makes the finals. But then that also makes the final. So what are our? Actually, no, I shouldn't ask that because I don't want to be. I'm going to vote for Leslie Nope because I want the chat to decide what our finals is.
That is so garbage. That is
No,
such
it's
a
not.
wrong answer. What?
No, it's
tell
not.
me, explain to me why you're voting for her. Why is she a better choice in this situation?
So she is a better choice in this situation because again, if we're thinking about I don't want to make the same choice twice basically, right? Because we chose Wonder Woman because we need somebody to like be athletic and strong and like do all of these things as to where now we're going with a more cerebral person to take a different approach because otherwise in the finals we basically have two clones of each other and that's really boring. So I'm trying to diversify our finals.
It sounds to me like you're falling into the trap that we didn't want to happen, which is why we didn't spin ahead of time, right?
No,
like the point is not to set up the end battle. The point is to look at these two individuals and to figure out who is the better choice based on the situation at hand. And I'm sorry, but if I'm on an island that's slowly shrinking and I need to get off the island, the person that spends all of their time investigating places and hidden temples and dealing with booby traps, probably slightly better than somebody who, as far as I understand, works in a park and rec department. I don't know. It doesn't seem like much of a competition to me. But you know what? Chat all said nope. I'll go ahead and say nope. But I just want to go on record, since this is my stream and my podcast, that this is the dumbest answer ever. Sorry, guys.
We shall see.
No, it's the dumbest answer ever. Guaranteed, regardless of how it ends. We are leaving the island with a goal to repopulate the Earth. Not personally repopulate the Earth, but come up with a plan to repopulate the Earth and protect the remaining citizens of the world from the zombie apocalypse.
See, this is perfect. This is exactly why we need Leslie Knope, because this is in Leslie Knope's wheelhouse. She'll come up with a plan. She'll hold meetings. She will do everything that is needed in order to make this repopulation happen. As to where, you know, this is why we made the choice that we made.
Yeah, no, that sounds the wrong answer. Because what's she going to do when a zombie's coming after her? She's going to die.
She's got a plan for that.
Sure she does. All right, we'll put Leslie Nope in as a winner because that's what the chat's going to want. So Leslie Nope, who I've never heard of, and I'm not sure that I ever want to, is the winner of our bracket. Leslie Nope. I think it's funny that her last name is Nope because that fits perfectly into this bracket at this point.
I feel like she has now reached vendetta stage for you.
She is dead to me forever. Like to the point where I will now never watch Parks and Rec just because of this.
It happens.
All right, so we're just at an hour, so I think it's time to.
It's time.
We're gonna. You ready for this, chat? Here it comes. We're gonna hold a couple dicks, and then we're gonna move on to
random rankings. All right,
you get to hold the dicks, B. I'm not holding them.
I mean, it's your stream, so you're definitely the one that's holding them.
Fine, I'll hold the dicks. Okay, I've got the dicks.
So we're going to try to keep this positive today. I can't promise anything though, but what we do have for you is we have a topic full of wheels. We've got a nice dozen topics for you today. Yep. Well, let's move on and see if we can get another topic that will probably be something.
You know, I came into this week saying, you know what, I'm gonna stay calm. I'm not gonna get angry. I'm not gonna swear as much. And then we get this shit. Now we got this Oklahoma announcer guy. Jesus Christ.
No.
This is. Can I mark this as triple mature? Because I think it's gonna have to be.
Triple mature.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
there was an argument on Facebook, which is always a great place to go for intelligent conversation, by the way. Where somebody was having a conversation about this, and a friend of mine commented, which is how I saw the comment, basically commented about the Second Amendment and what it means and what it meant and clarifications and all of this. And the guy basically says, well, I'm going to keep my guns. You can't take them away from me. And that's what it is. It's all about, and then he said something about, they put that in the Constitution because you got to be able to fight against a corrupt government. They're going to roll a tank up to your fucking farmhouse. You're going to shoot your little shotgun at them? I mean, they've got nuclear fucking weapons for fuck's sake. Like, you really think that your little pea shooter is going to... Like, you're not fighting the government, okay? You're not fighting the government. That's not what this is. It's because you got a small and it makes you feel like a real man. That's what the it is, okay?
So did we just find our clip for the week? A sign addressing systemic racism was recently removed from the Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin Public Library grounds following vocal criticism from community members, including former Milwaukee Bucks player Steve Novak.
Who I've never heard of, for the record. Never heard of him. No idea.
He's a white guy who went to Marquette. But
okay.
The sign, which was placed in a rock garden display outside the library by a library partner called Bay Bridge, Wisconsin, which is a group that focuses on raising awareness of racial and cultural bias in the community, described its vision for the North Shore suburb. The sign said, Whitefish Bay will be a welcoming community that recognizes systemic racism and actively works to address and dismantle it.
Welcoming community.
How will you be a bridge in helping to repair and build a more equitable community?
How will you be a bridge? Okay.
About a half dozen emails were received criticizing the sign,
6,
including one from a library benefactor and from Novak.
6.
The sign also had community support. So basically, the community
6.
kind of decided that they wanted to uprise about this sign and that it was divisive.
It wasn't the community, B. It was 6 fucking people.
Right, but so...
It was 6 people! There are probably more people in the library right now than that. 6 fucking people! Okay,
right,
go on.
But do you know it was the person with the money? But do you want my research now?
Sure, give it to
me.
me.
I'll give you my research. So,
is it going to be research that there was more than 6 people?
No.
Okay, all right, go on.
So what we're saying here, and we don't know the full details, right? Because we weren't there, but it sounds like the student and the drama professor had a back and forth, and maybe the drama professor had put these names on this board, like these are people that you can connect with. I don't know. But then these other people walked in and like, why are these names on this board? What's going on? And then the drama professor is like, dude, I'm sorry, this is weird. And then this guy, now, Skonzii, can you tell me the persuasion of this gentleman?
He's a white guy.
Yeah, he's a white guy. 62-year-old white guy comes and goes, this ain't a big deal. You just need to deal with it. Back in my day, we just raised our bootstraps. And then when we raised our bootstraps, we got up to walk. And then when we got up to walk, we just dealt with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds about right. Do you mind if I play a quick clip from one of my favorite movies, Ferris Bueller's Day Off?
As long as we don't get we don't get banned from YouTube for it.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna play it anyway.
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole.
I don't even know where to start with this, B.
Entitlement privilege is where you start, right? Like this dude,
like the reason the names were on the board was 100% innocent and was someone was trying to help somebody else, right? And then they cleared it up. They said, hey, this is what happened, this is what's going on, and everyone was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. And then Jackie McJackerson jumps in and decides he's gonna fucking stick his entire knee in his fucking mouth. And just like, what the fuck are you trying to solve here, guy? Like, and it's funny because towards he is a self-proclaimed conservative. He is a Trump supporter. And towards the end of the article, he said something along the lines of, at least in this change, now he's going to feel more comfortable about sharing his actual beliefs and thoughts. So what that tells me is this guy is an asshole. He's a piece of shit. He's probably racist, or at least has racist tendencies. And he finally got outed. So fuck you, Professor. What's your name?
So I think you just overtook me as the clip on this, unless we just clip this entire. So someone write down that this needs to go into the 2021 recap. This is definitely going into the 2021 recap.
Welcome to ReRandom, episode 56. We're recording this on Monday, November 2nd, 2021. This is a crazy, weird podcast where we cover all kinds of topics and weird stuff, and B's going to tell you a little bit more about that. But first, B, I was talking to a farmer recently and had a very unsuccessful harvest. And he decided he was going to try a career in music. And I was like, well, why the hell are you going to go into music? You're a farmer. And he's like, I got all these sick beats. Sick beats? No? We'll be back in a minute. Old Man Wiggum says, finish it up with number 25. If you were given a 1-minute ad slot during the Super Bowl that you couldn't sell, what would you fill it with? So my first thought was a 1-minute dating ad. And then,
Okay. Before you go, hold on. I got it. So imagine, cutscene, picture, beautiful night in Wisconsin. The dusk, the sun is setting. All of a sudden, you see this man's feet. Them are some real big feet, but you see the feet, and it starts to come up. You see the legs. You see this chair, and all of a sudden, you see a big, long stick, but it's in his hand. It's a stogie. You see it. He's got the sunglasses on. He's just sitting there in the chair, and then he turns to the camera, faces that camera real nice, says, tell him what you say, Christopher. Let's go.
I don't know what I say. Move on to number 16. What is the worst commercial you recently seen? Why is it so bad? I'm not even going to stop talking because I have to answer this one right away. There's a fucking commercial with like a sun and some other thing, and it's the guy's like drinking the Coke Zero, and it's not a sun, I think it's an asteroid, and it's going to crash into Earth, and it's like, ah, and he's like, no, it's not so bad. He's like, ah, and he's like, no, you need to try it. He's like, ah, and he goes, no, you got to try it first. And then he slows down and he goes, okay, I'm going to try it first. How fucking bad is your product that you have to put out a commercial that says, hey, at least try it first? I tried it and it's garbage. I'm still drinking it because, I can't find another 0-calorie cola that I like. But it's the dumbest commercial ever. If you have to put out a commercial that says, hey, just try it. Oh my God, what a disaster.
Best Coke ever? I don't think so. Number 3 is that they would bring back Ryan Braun.
Okay.
So, of those moves, we're gonna play the old game of blank, marry, kill. Right? You have to keep one, and then kind of love the idea of the other one.
I'm gonna stop really quick before we go on.
Mm-hmm.
I just got a text message from my sister that said
Yeah.
I need to check our family group chat.
Okay.
I am going to jump into this game and say I got someone to kill because I just found out my fucking 16-year-old niece just had her first kiss. I don't know who this kid is, but we got to go hunting. I got to find somebody. Okay, anyway.
Oh boy. Oh,
I'm a little
no,
bit flustered all of a sudden.
Uh-oh. Whoa. We need the okay, podcast over. Find us AQP on we Are we continuing or do we need
Oh,
to
wait,
go?
look, there's my sister. First plus 6 more. What?
Whoa.
What?
Hold up. Time out.
There's some killing that's gotta happen. Okay. So we shouldn't get it. I shouldn't have said that on stream because sometimes my niece shows up, so we don't want to embarrass her too much. Anyway,
Are you sure we don't? That's kind of our shtick, right?
It kind of is, but she's already probably embarrassed already. So
Right.
I'll let her mom tell her that the whole world knows that she just got her first kiss.
Some people are expecting, oh, I get the shot and I can be back to normal and I can be holding your hand and kissing babies and getting out there and going, woo, and doing the Ric Flair and whatever. This man, Steve Nass, comes out and says that by making this decision that the UW system campuses need to ask this GOP legislature that has not advocated for any COVID restrictions this entire time, these people who refused to meet for months upon months upon months upon months, that the UW system needs to ask permission to have COVID protocols in place. Yet they're also saying the UW system needs to call back their employees to these campuses to meet with students in person, to teach classes in person in lecture halls that hold 150, 250, 300 people at any given time for lengths of 50 minutes, 175 minutes, or longer. This is asinine.
We're all going to get old. We're all going to die at some point. And time's going to pass one way or another. Doesn't matter if you're doing something you love or if you're doing something you hate. Time is still going to pass. So do something you love, man. Republican leaning individuals. 17% of people said there is a lot of discrimination against black individuals. 17%. 26% of them said there's a lot against white people. What the fuck are you people smoking? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I was going to try to not swear on this podcast. I set that up earlier today. I'm like, I need to just stay calm and not get pissed off and fucking swear at these fucking people. But fuck you. Almost twice as many people said that white people are discriminated against more than black people. Are you fucking kidding me? Why? Because you can't go to McDonald's without wearing a fucking mask? Is that your goddamn problem? You're not getting shot outside McDonald's, for fuck's sake. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me?
Like he's an energy guy, right? Like he's one of those guys that shows up like in the and obviously somebody on Twitter is going to be like, look, he hit 217 in late and close and blah 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 blah. He's bad. Look, let people enjoy their sports. If I'm going to let you enjoy the fact that you want to look in a spreadsheet and tell me that Orlando RC is bad, let me enjoy watching Orlando RC, right? Like, I feel like that's the thing that we have to do here. Other things that I can tell you are that if you have questions, concerns, issues, want to give us suggestions, want to yell at us because we didn't talk about the vaccine, you can direct all of that to your deleted items folder because we don't want to hear that shit. Anyway, I'm Landmark. That's Skonzii. We will see you next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And have yourself a great evening. And just because it was okay in 2002 doesn't mean it's fucking okay now. Woo!
I got nothing to say. Bye, everybody.